for the sake of the conversation, I'll entertain it. But the truthful version of me, I'm not asked whether you call it luck or what. Like, I don't care. We got the 3 points and we move. But I think I mentioned this to an Arsenal fan yesterday. Had that not have been a handball, the chances of Liverpool scoring were slim to none. I think we would have probably been playing that game all up until 9:15 on the 15th of the 9th, and we'd have still been 0-0. Which I think is poor on Burnley's part as well, because not to say that there was loads of opportunities, but to be that spineless in defence and just all you want to do is defend and not even try and lay a finger on Liverpool or try and pose any real attack. You're in the Premier League. That is a very, very poor show, and it's a poor advertisement for the standard of the league.
Nah, I can't hear that. They're entitled to play how they want, bro.
I'm not saying that, but I just think it's a poor advertisement for the league.
Well, it's not about poor advertising. They're not in it to advertise the Premier League. They're in it to try and get points. And if they think they're going to take you on and play attacking football, they would have got rinsed.
I'm not saying that they had to take us on to play attacking football. I didn't say that. I was just saying the fact that all they wanted to do was defend for their lives for 90 minutes.
And they were very almost successful in doing that.
Nearly, yeah, wasn't close enough.
I agree. But you deserve to win the game because you won the game. But I don't think you can be saying like, it's a poor advertisement or whatever. They're in it for themselves.
I think it is.
But we're not in it. We're not in it. The teams are not in it to raise the Premier League's appeal. They're in it to get maximum points. So they were a minute away from getting a point against the title holders.
And I heard this. How did that end up for them?
No, and I agree. But you can't say it's a bad tactic. They were a minute away from getting a point against the title holders. Okay. So it clearly was a good tactic.
This is what I don't get. Errol's my guy, but this is what I don't get with the Liverpool fans. And I saw it online. Oh my God, what a disgrace to come up against us and have 3 shots and defend and put everyone behind the ball. Did you really think Burnley were going to go, let's come and have a go at this? We lost 5-0. I expected them to do that. Do you know what I mean? I expected that.
I think the point that I'm trying to make on my end is the fact that from their perspective, they don't deserve to take anything away from that game if that is how they're going to approach the game from the outside. Why? You can't.
They do, though. It's a horrible take, Errol. It's a horrible take.
And that's fine. At the end of the day, you got the horrible take. So what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the reality is you played in the best league in the country, and you come out to set up to not get beat. And if that is your mentality, you don't want to get beat. You can't be surprised when you then get beat. At the end of the day, if you lose and someone scores against you, you didn't do nothing to try and win the game.
Errol,
I didn't do anything to try and stop it other than to get and put men behind the ball. That's fine. I don't particularly care for that style of football. If Burnley think they can play 38 games like that and try to stay up, good luck to them.
They won't. I think they're playing against the Premier League champions. Of course, in their mind, they're not going to come out and be expansive. Because one, they haven't got the quality to be able to play.
At no point did I say I expect
it worked. It never worked. The setup for that particular game, and that's it. Like they played like that in other games. In actual fact, in other games, they have been a little bit more expansive in there.
How many goals did Burnley concede last season, Pete? How many goals did Burnley concede last season?
15.
They went like 15 games without conceding any.
So as a team that can set up and still score, they have shown that they have got a good defensive record and they've got a good defensive unit to be able to.
In the championship,
they created that. They lost the goalkeeper that creates that, and it's in the championship.
Like, I know it is. But again, he was unlucky.
They can't play the same way.
I'm not saying that they should play the same way, but what I'm saying to you guys is that if they intend to play game after game like that in the Premier League, you can't turn around to me at the end of the game and go, oh, well, do you know what? Actually, they deserve to get something out of that game, because honestly, they didn't. The only team that was looking to try and win was Liverpool. Liverpool's toothlessness meant that we made more hard work of it than it is. But you can't tell me, right, if there was 2 boxers in a ring and they're both throwing, all right, one's just covering up for God knows how many rounds and the other one's just laying into him, and at the end of the match they go, oh, well, do you know what? He's really unlucky that the ref didn't call it.
Well, the rope-a-dope was one of the greatest boxing tactics ever.
Like Liverpool and Burnley are like this, bro. It's not two boxes like this.
And Pops, that's my point, is that you only have to look back 2 years ago. In that type of game, Vincent Kompany was setting up Burnley to be expansive, and they were getting absolutely battered every game. They were absolutely shocking, right, for doing and playing that style. So I actually commend, I actually say, you know what, fairs to Scott Parker, because he has been expansive in some games when he knows he can be against certain teams, but in other games he's going and sitting back. He could have quite actually been expansive and gone, you know what, we're not going to win this game anyway, let's just go for it, and got battered 5-0. But actually, he was like a minute away, like LB said, from actually getting a point. Yes, they didn't get it, but from their perspective, they've not got 3 minus 4, 5, 6 on their goal difference. That could be the difference at the back end of the season. So I get what you're saying, is that you don't want to come up against a team like that. You see it as anti-football, but you've got to understand it from a perspective of a team that's just come up from the Championship. You know how hard it's been over the last years for newly promoted teams to stay in the Premier League. They are desperate to stay in the Premier League, so they're going to play a different way. And this is maybe it's just me and Rich and Wolfie, because we've been down there, we've been in the Championship, we've had to come up, so we know how we have to play sometimes. Maybe it's because you've never experienced it, but I understand why Scott Parker played the way he did. It might not be nice to watch, and it weren't a great game, but I understand it. So, but I also understand why you wouldn't understand it, because you've had the privilege of always being up there. So you wouldn't.
No, it's not even about having. I just think as a team that has showed as a unit they can defend. How can you really test yourselves in the league, even if you want to use it as a barometer to know where you're currently at? And you might say, "Oh, they know going into that game that they're nowhere near the champions," and that's absolutely fine. But to not be able to say, right, for 20-minute period, we are going to play our football and we're going to try and be progressive through the pitch and we're going to try and cause Liverpool, whether that be set pieces, whether that be creating chances, whether that be long, whatever it is, tactically to be offensive. They chose to do none of that. They chose to leave all of the football and drills to the wayside and say, all we're going to do is shut up shop for 90 minutes and pray and inshallah.
Errol, do you think they'll play like that against Leeds?
I'd like to say something real quick as well. Because I've been told over the previous seasons that they call that tactics. And Errol, I'm not going to lie, bro, I love your takes, generally speaking, but since we're in the business of doing terrible takes, I might as well join you. You spent more money on signings this summer than it costs the whole Burnley stadium. Hold that. So Pete and colleagues are genuinely correct. It's like, you're dealing with the very rich in society and you're dealing with poor, and they are dealing with their resources and they almost got a draw. The real thing here is that Errol is, someone who is legally trained and an eloquent speaker. The truth is, Liverpool's been pants this season. I know you've got 12 points, but I know you're worried. You were not good against Bournemouth. Really and truly, if football was a fair game, Liverpool has 4 points this season.
We're the Bournemouth in the league, Edge. We're the Bournemouth in the league. We're the Bournemouth in the league. We're the Bournemouth, our kid.
I know. Well,
then tell me, you answer the question. We're the Bournemouth in the league.
Too high is the answer.
All right, so they're 4th, and they've got 3 wins out of 4. The only team that they've lost to this season has been us.
Yeah, but that game, the football was fair. That's a draw. The Newcastle game.
Why is it fair? Since when?
You were getting moved to by Bournemouth. Let's be real. In your own yard, Semenyo was cooking you, man.
He was.
You scored in the last couple of minutes. Then Newcastle game, you scored in the last second of the game. That should have been a draw. Then you scored. You did nothing in the game against Arsenal. You scored this bloody free kick out of nowhere. Did nothing. Didn't deserve that. That should have been a draw. And then this weekend against Burnley, did nothing. And then you score in the 95th minute. Liverpool's been rubbish. That is the truth, bro.
So what? If we was just coming in on this tip, I would wholeheartedly agree with you. If you was just coming in on this tip, I would wholeheartedly. But you're telling me that we was lucky when we was the only team trying to win a game of footy. That's not luck,
bruv.
There's no luck about that. And I already accept
all the
it.
resources you have. You should be struggling with Burnley. That's the point. With all the resources, you shouldn't be struggling.
But again, I think most teams would struggle if every team just decided, you know what, we're going to
beat Burnley 3-0. It was light work.
But did Burnley set up the exact same way?
Yes.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm just saying.
How many points did you get for that? By the way, how many points did you get for that? By the way, there we go then.
Is this sustainable though, Errol? Do you actually feel like it's chill? Like, don't worry, because I wouldn't give a damn. I'd be top of the league, like whatever. We haven't played well yet. We got 12 points. However, do you feel like if you carry on like this, that you can just keep getting over the line, or do you think it's calm? Or because I look at Salah,
I've already said it. I've already tweeted, bro. We in the first 2 games of the season, I said we've already used 2 get out of jail free cards, Bournemouth and Newcastle. You don't get that many. What do you want to know? What's that got? No, because of this. Like I was saying, I had already accepted that we'd already used 2 get out of jail free cards after the first 2 games of the season. I've already said that to me is not sustainable level of football. You have to start performing. Do I think that the performances will come? I hope so. But at this moment in time, it's taken us a little bit longer to get up to full speed. But at the end of the day, whilst we're still getting points on the board, I think it is very fair that we reflect on the performances and say that they've been underwhelming and they've been subpar. And like I said from the get-go, had we have still been playing till fucking 9 o'clock tonight, we still probably wouldn't have scored from open play. But equally, I can sit there and say, I'm happy that we've got 12 points in the bag, because those 12 points have got us sitting at the top of the table, and it's got other people sweating, thinking, how are Liverpool playing this bad but still getting over the line? You can look at mentality, and you can look at the fact that we've got a team of winners that know how to win. And at the end of the day, irrespective of whether you think we've been good or not, in all of those games, I'd say barring the Newcastle game, because I think the Newcastle game is the one where they really stuck it on us differently, I'd say that we have been the only team that have tried to win over the course of 90. I think Bournemouth had spells, but we consistently wanted to try and get the 3 points at home, first game of the season. I think the Newcastle game, like I just said, was probably the one where they stuck it on us the most and they caught us a little bit cold. But the mentality and the winners in the team got us over the line. I think the Arsenal game, again, not to slag off Arsenal, but I don't think that was their best offensive display to try and go and get 3 points at Anfield. I thought he was a little bit conservative and wanted to make sure they didn't get beat. So therefore, Liverpool were the team trying to win. And again, the same can be said again for yesterday. Burnley did not do anything to try to win, and if that's their tactic, fair enough, they're entitled to it, but Liverpool tried to. So at the same time, if we try to win the rest of these 34 games of the league, we're going to win more than we're going to lose, but the performances have also got to follow, and I think that's fair to say. I don't see what I've just said there that's outlandish by any stretch.
Is it okay for rival fans to start asking questions about Wirtz? Because people are asking about your.
You can do what you want. It's not your player. Why are you pocket watching me, broke ass?
I just
you
want to know
about to put him off at the table, bro.
I just want to know when it's okay to start
pocket watching what I've got. It's like saying, "Oh, I've got a little Casio, but I'm going to watch the next man's Rolex to still see if it tells the time." Fuck off! Watch your own
talk to me about that Rolex. Talk to me about that Rolex, bro. Let me know how that Rolex has been. Is the time been accurate on it?
Don't watch the Rolex. You couldn't finance the Rolex.
Why are you so upset about your Rolex, bro?
I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying, it's like you telling me I've got this plastic watch, but I'm going to check for your watch over there. So don't bother.
I've actually got an Omega on, but anyway, the whole point here is, when can we talk about?
Hey.
004, isn't it? Is it going to get to 007 there?
When is it okay? When is it publicly acceptable for us to discuss 004?
He's on His Majesty's Secret Service right now. Do you get me? Like, he's working undercover. He's on a little mission, and right now he's on a side mission. But eventually, when he turns up, it's one of them. What do you just want to do? Do you want to, crash out right now and go all in on him, and then look stupid come the end of the season? Or do you want to allow him time to really give a fair evaluation? Depends what you want to do. Because me, again, I've already tweeted it out there. I have not been impressed so far. But does that mean I'm going to write him off? And does that mean I'm going to slander him? No, I'm going to give the brother time to come and do what he's doing.
When you pay that sort of money, does he deserve to have that time? That's the question.
I think any 22-year-old, moving to a new country, moving to a new league, moving to a new city deserves time. regardless of the price tag, regardless of the price tag slapped on his head. I know you're talking to me about, but he can't do anything about the price tag. So as a young 22-year-old moving to a new country, into a new league, I think he does get warranted time because we've given time for a lot of other people before him. Let's just be fair about it. And I know we've not given time for a lot of other people as well, but all I'm saying is,
how can you put Anthony in this league? How? What are you doing here?
Yo, it's past his bedtime, go to bed, Dad.
Wait till Isak starts playing and Pete's watching him as well. Wait till Isak starts playing and Pete's watching him like a horse.
I'm just saying as a neutral though. Are you guys not seeing it as a neutral? Gyökeres is getting heat, scoring 3 goals and 4. I've heard this whole genes thing this week. I don't really get what they're going on with that, but he's getting heat and he's actually bagging. 004 is 004. Like, why is, if it's okay for one, why is it not okay for the other? That's the thing I don't get. Just as an objective outsider looking at it.
All right, so do you want to honest answer that? Because I feel as though, and again, I can only speak for myself in this, looking from the outside, looking into the Arsenal wider fan base, Arsenal have painted this guy as the missing piece to be that guy, to be the linchpin to help them get over the line. So therefore, they've applied a level of pressure on him. I don't think there was many Liverpool fans that expected Wirtz to be able to come in to this Liverpool team or for us to. We didn't.
What?
Did you every single Liverpool channel? LB, I've learned it from memory. I've seen it so many times. LB, how many times have you clipped up over Wirtz?
Bro, I clipped up a lot, man. I can't lie, bro. That's
so Liverpool fans at the start of the transfer window expected to go and sign Florian Wirtz. Liverpool fans were screaming out, that's what's needed for us in this summer. We need to go and buy a player of that level to come into this squad. That was the tip from Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans were telling you this all summer, lads, that Liverpool were going to go and buy a Florian Wirtz.
No, but the point is, Errol, that he's a hell of a lot of money. I think he's going to bag, by the way, for what it's worth. You can't say there's more pressure on Gyökeres, but Wirtz just needs a few games to get away.
I'm not. You aren't listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is that the Arsenal fans had already lined up Gyökeres prior to Gyökeres going to the club. That was the guy they wanted this summer, for the reason being he was the missing piece in their squad to go and push them over.
He scored 3 and 4, Errol. He scored 3 and 4.
He's getting more heat than
004 is, man.
All right, Sam, but are you going to let me finish what I'm saying? My point is that Liverpool fans, and me especially, I felt from the get-go, Wirtz is a luxury player. I didn't see him being part of our transfers this summer. The fact that we was able to get him is great, but we've now got to make it work. It wasn't like we've been planning for this for months and we was waiting for him to come in and he was going to then kick us on. So
you thought he'd take 10 games?
Pardon?
You thought he'd need 10 games?
At least, I don't watch the Bundesliga in and out, boys. So yeah, I've heard good things about him. I've seen him in the Champions League. I've seen him with my own eyes against Liverpool. I didn't think he was fantastic that day. We slapped them 4-0. The fact of the matter is, I didn't put any expectations on this guy to whether you put 116 mil out for him or not to come in and be the linchpin for us. I didn't necessarily think that's what we was buying. Whereas Arsenal did think that's what they was buying with Gyökeres. So I think the pressure comes from yous have set the expectation that he's your missing piece. No one in the Liverpool fan base that I'm aware of has said, oh, yeah, he's our missing piece. He's going to be the one that takes us to the next level.
There's no Isak
that was going 004. If it was Isak that was going 004, I'd agree with you. I'd
to be fair, you can have that opinion as a fan. You can have that opinion as a fan as you didn't think that he was going to be that guy. But I'm sorry, Liverpool Football Club thought he was going to be that guy, and that's why they paid the money. So you can't say you can say that from your perspective, and that's absolutely fine. But Liverpool Football Club put that money on the table and went over what Man City were willing to offer because they wanted him, because they thought he was going to be the guy.
Okay,
he has got to be the guy. And that's why I asked the question: is he being judged now or not? Because
in response to that,
I get the age perspective, but actually, when you're paying that sort of money and Liverpool are signing him to be the guy, he really should be the guy straight away.
And I'll be honest, my response to that is, yeah, Liverpool thought he would be the guy, but Liverpool did not think that, look, if you're going to come in and be the guy from day one, then we're paying 116 mil. It was never a case of that short-sightedness. And I think that is the reaction that the wider football community is having, is being of short-sightedness. If people were saying, right, we expect, because again, you can look at Gravenberch. Gravenberch came in for buttons. We didn't see enough of him for the first season. Second season under Slot, he's looked really good. Liverpool are doing these assessments of players because they see the full length of the contract. Will you be worth the value of your contract over the course of the next 4 or 5 years? If so is going to be yes, then we will then sanction the money to go and make that bid for you. But it's not about we are going to buy somebody right now because in the first 4 games of the season they're going to be the player of the month. That's not what we're in it for. So I don't think it's fair to turn around and say, all right, well, after the first 4 games, we're going to call them 004 and we're going to say that it was a bad investment, because that's just disingenuous.